technology, and he and his team help us support all of what we want to do innovatively in the classroom with the digital tools.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming tonight. I am pleased to report that the state of our district using technology is strong. We are on track as we continue to adapt, improve, and respond to the needs of our students, our staff, and our community at large. So, at the core of our department are 4 dedicated and gifted individuals. Two of them are here tonight. Steve Reed is our systems operations facilitator. Leonard Razor, who is our district technology technician. He's now our sound man. Jack Billings is up on the dais up there. And Jack is our network coordinator. And the newest addition to our department, Jennifer Stefani, is our department assistant. These individuals are responsible for the box and wires, the infrastructure, as well as the maintenance and support of hardware and software systems. So on the slide, you'll see that there are 4 new systems that were brought on board. This year, the Board of Education authorized Skyward Data Warehouse, which is a program that allows you to go to a single location, and it brings together a variety of our student assessments from various areas and presents them in a way that is conducive to graphical format and analysis. The second program that Mr. Brozynski talked about is an enhancement to our eChalk. It's a new dashboard interface, and it provides a new parental community connection portal that also enhances web-based file sharing. And the third program that we mentioned earlier is called Google Apps for Education. It's our primary productivity tool for our students, and it's distinguished by its robust collaborative nature and features that are involved with it. And then finally, which you've heard much to do tonight about, is a program that was developed and promoted by Compass Learning. It's a program called Odyssey. This is a curriculum resource that integrates curriculum with the standards and assessment. And our map tests are integrated with a prescriptive learning path. What does that mean? That means that the learning through Odyssey with your student is specific to the individual needs of that student. You're aware that, as Superintendent Duster talked about, last January we had our first half-year rollout, and that incorporated every student in our one-to-one initiative that was in the 4th and 7th grades. They received their own personalized learning digital tool. This is our second year, of course, and we've commenced on September 3rd with all the elementary schools, and the following month, October 7th, at the Parker Junior High School, expanding access to this one-to-one initiative for those students in our 5th and 8th grade now. These mobile devices are tools used to access instructional content. They're optimized for that, and it improves the connection between the students and the teachers, as well as the students among other students. In order to support this, to keep these essential instructional tools viable and in the hands of our students, several new resources and procedures have been put into place. One can be found on our website, called the iPad Guideline Video, and it's available under the Resource tab on our website. There's also some how-to instructional guides for our staff and our educators that are accessible on our intranet. And the addition to that, we have the PBIS you've heard about, where students are now encouraged to take better care of their iPads, and a new iPad repair request procedure that has been put in place, designed to improve the communications with the parents, reduce accidents, and speed up the response and turn time in the event of a defective or a damaged iPad. So each year we expect more and more from technology. And technology is up to that challenge. But at the same time, we must continue to collaborate and solicit your advice, all stakeholders' advice. And in this way, we think we can positively improve and impact the way these tools are used by your students. And we think that it will influence our students to have a positive outlook on their continuing education. At this time, I'd like to introduce our district incident commander. He's responsible for emergency procedures, practice drills, and crisis simulations, Mr. Brozynski.
Thank you, and I'd like to thank the Board of Ed and Mr. Duster for giving me this responsibility, and I take it to a high level. Let's see. I'm going to talk about some of the drills we completed. By the way, I'm the last speaker, and I'm going to be short, and then we have questions for you. So we'll get you going with that. We have done Code Red drills. This has been in conjunction with Deputy Police Chief Kamleiter from Flossmoor Police Department. I want to thank Ms. Majewski and Mr. Tavola. We went to every elementary school and junior high, conducted a Code Red drill. Code Red drill basically means there's something happening in the building, where the teachers have to lock the doors and hide the kids. Quote from Deputy Chief Kamleiter: he thought he himself and the other Mr. Stavola and Ms. Majewski were the only people in the building. It was so quiet, he couldn't believe it was that quiet. He said the teachers and students did phenomenal, so we're very, very proud of that drill. We've done bus evacuation drills, fire drills, and we just completed an earthquake drill on the 17th. We'll be doing a tornado drill. We'll be doing a Code Yellow drill. Code Yellow means that it's happening outside of school. So even though the doors will be locked, it is happening outside the building. For example, there could have been maybe a chemical spill, something outside of the school. Okay, and we'll be practicing that also. We're also going to be doing a crisis simulation. This will be done in conjunction with the Flossmoor Police Department. We did it last year at Parker. It's done in a half day. It's done on the second half day, where no students or no elementary students will be present for this drill. It is a drill to find holes in the police area, our area, and it'll be done at the elementary school, one of our elementary schools this year, and I'm not going to say which one. But every year we'll be doing a drill in conjunction with the police department, and every year it's going to be bigger, where eventually we may end up with multiple communities, multiple jurisdictions. And again, I want to reiterate, students will not be present at this drill. Crisis plans. We have updated all of our crisis plans following the Illinois ISBE guideline. We have crisis committee meetings. We've done more things, I think, the last 2 years, thanks to Mr. Duster and the Board of Ed, than we probably did the 4 or 5 years previous. So we're really being very proactive in preparing our schools for emergencies, which we hope never occur. Okay? We've met with the police and fire departments from multiple communities, not just Flossmoor, but Homewood, Olympia Fields, and Hazel Crest. So with them also, we want to make sure we are as safe and your students are as safe as they possibly can be. And we're constantly looking and updating and finding the latest information out to make sure school safety is the #1 priority in this district. And now I'll turn it over to Mr. Duster for questions from the community.
Thank you, Mr. President. Before we go to questions, there is one part of the information that I left out, and that is our Community Connections Committee that we will be having. I mentioned I wanted to wait till the end so that everyone made sure that if you want to take part in it, you most certainly can. But we will have an application process that'll start going out in December and the first part of January. What we're trying to do, and this is, the community members have asked me if we would do this, or board members talked to us about this, and it's also part of our strategic plan. But we would like to start a committee where there will be no agendas, it'll be just discussions of what's going on in our school district. And people in that community will be clergy, it'll be business people, it'll be parents, it will be some teachers, it'll be administrators, some board members. So it will be people who make up our community, it'll be stakeholders. And if you are interested in something in regards to helping us out, we will have information. There's an application process that you will have to fill out. And we will be having a selection at the end of January, first part of February. So I encourage you to sign up, please. I want to have a round of applause for all my presenters, and my presenters can stand next to me today. Thank you very much. Again, this was videotaped this evening. It will be placed on our website. You were able to see that in about a week and a half. The PowerPoint that you just observed today is already on there. It is a pleasure serving Flossmoor School District 161. Our board has tremendous vision on where we're going. We are a state-of-the-art district. We are definitely heading the pack and doing the right things for students, as you heard today. With that being said, I will take some questions at this time. If you have a question, I will call on you. If you'll come up to this microphone and ask your question. If I can't answer that question, we'll have one of our representatives that are sitting here. So, are there any questions at this time? Oh, thank you. Oh, okay. Go ahead. Please step up. If you could state your name, please, and
I wanted to ask Dr. Work if you could clarify. It's been brought to my attention by some of the board members that there may be some unclarity about the question that I raised. It seems like that the assessment mentioned with regard to the teacher assessment is an actual test, not necessarily the results. Is that correct? Because that wasn't my understanding. So I just want to ask you to clarify that.
Yes, it is an actual test.
Okay.
So all of the tests are pre and post assessments, pre-unit, post-unit. The results would be in the teacher's grade books, and so that would be something that the parents would have access to as far as the result of the assessment.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
are there any other questions? Yes, please come up. State your name, please.
Hi, Jane Randak.
Hi, Jane.
I have just a quick question, and unfortunately he had to leave, but it's really around the assessment. So my understanding is that, you know, the cut scores are higher, everything's more difficult, it's hard to get a real apples to apples assessment of kind of how we're doing. But I noticed that there was only, 3 years worth of data kind of going back. I'm just curious, you know, where I can get more information about how we're tracking generally, how we're trending, and you know how the school district is doing as a whole in that regard.
Sure.
You know, just any kind of feedback on, you know, that whole assessment process.
Absolutely. Dr. Graham, the district has hired him as a statistician for us. He works with the State Board of Education. He's very well known for his statistics and what he does. He will be at a board meeting coming up soon to present. It may even be this next Monday, but he will be in the district a few times, and his information will be posted on the website. But he's going to dissect our school district as far as ISAT scores. He's going to take a look at our MAP scores and give us information with his analysis so that we can share that with parents, and then that will help us, our teachers and administrators, as we continue to grow.
Right, and I'm just wondering too, you know, and this may be a question for that time, just, you know, is there a particular peer group of other school districts and so forth that we're benchmarking against?
Yes, excellent question. We've already had a meeting to discuss who are common districts to us, and it's very, very difficult to find a common district of Flossmoor, and that's for many reasons. So we have a criteria set up of 6 different commonalities. One is finances, one is demographics, etc. One is the education of parents. There's many different factors, and his analysis is going to incorporate all of those, and that will incorporate school districts throughout the state of Illinois on how we compare to them. So we're in the upper quartile of the state of Illinois as far as our achievement rates go. Our parents, as far as their education, our fund balances. So we're doing a lot of really wonderful things here, but we have to compare against schools in Lake and DuPage County, because the schools around us, they are doing a nice job. However, our makeup is so much different than other schools in the area.
Thank you.
Does that help? Are there any other questions? Yes? If you come up, please, it helps. Yes, I do know you, Penny, and it's a pleasure, and I want to hear your voice.
I'm always talking like.
Good.
Okay, so I
Could
have.
you say your name, please?
I'm sorry, I'm Penny Cox. I'm a Heatherville mom. I have a question about our responsibility fiscally. I'd like to know how much we paid into, or how much the purchase of the whole iPad project has actually cost us to date. In addition, I'd like to know, is this new renovation, is it a done deal? Are we having meetings? Are we having community meetings on this? Because that is a lot of money that we're planning on spending. And will the community be involved in that planning of that, or that whole process? We're not getting any more money from the state, and we're spending a lot of money over the last 2 or 3 years.
Excellent questions. And the district has put itself in place for these. There's been a lot of discussions that took place, and I think you and I had some discussions privately, but there's been discussions at school board meetings about the reserves. There's a reason why we have reserves, it is to do this. The district is really focusing their money on doing what is best for children. That is the Board of Education's mission, and also by doing that fiscally. We have a PMA model that we use, a financial model. We put different forecasts in there, and we try to predict, and we're conservative on how things are going. Our fund balances are strong and healthy, and they should last the school district for several years to come. As far as the planning for our project taking place, the project, it looks like it's a lot that we're doing, and there is a price tag of $10.4 million. However, the input from the community, it's just basically an addition. It's not like we're building a new school. And so we're adding those types of things, but input that we did take from the community was on that survey on what they would like to see. We took all that information together, and that's what we presented to the Board of Education. And we're bringing those conceptual drawings together for the Board of Education. So what we saw up here was just some examples of what we're working on yet, a formalized, this is just conceptual, formal, it hasn't been formalized with the Board of Education yet on that exact part, but we just wanted to show the community on what we're kind of working on. As far as our fund balances, I will be turning that over right now to Ms. Labella. She can answer any questions about our fund balances and where we are.
Absolutely. The district's fund balances are very healthy. I'm not even sure how many years running this district has been in the recognition status and will continue to be such next year. We've been very vigilant about making sure that any funds that we're spending for one-time purchases are those things that are putting us into a so-called deficit position. Our operating budgets remain balanced. The budgets, like I said, there's some conservative budgeting in here, but when at the end of the year the actuals come through, we have had a balanced budget in the operating funds. We continue to do that, and we will continue to do that. So the funds that the board determines to be spent out of their fund balances are for one-time things, not recurring, so that you're not looking at that spiral of death, if you will.
And also the iPads?
The iPads, the entire 21st century plan calls for about a $5 million purchase. We're at probably about $2 million of that expended at this point, and a lot of that was infrastructure as well as the iPad. The infrastructure itself is significant.
It's also professional learning, that's everything. When we don't have a technology plan in our district, we have a 21st century plan which incorporates the Common Core, the big six that I talked about earlier, as well as our principal and Dr. Moore.
So we're just waiting for the board to determine the project.
Project's been determined, that's been approved, the dollar amount on that. What they're going to be approving will be the conceptual drawings and just basically the drawings of that and when that timeline will begin.
Additionally, they will be bonding also for that. It'll be probably a 10-year bond.
Okay.
That would-
You're welcome. Are there any other questions? Okay, drive safely. Thank you very much for being here this evening and taking the time out of your precious day. Thank you.